So she couldn't find it since this morning.
1, 2, 3. Ah, shit.
Well, why would anybody else have their key?
All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Gee.
Well, negotiations, right? Politics.
And we're out of time. So you.
Hey, y'all, Gravity, any day above ground living. I hope you're having a fantastic Tuesday. It's warm, go out there. If it's cold, go out there. Touch grass. You got to touch grass, because if you don't touch grass, you look like MAGA. Always crying about something or hustling. And today we're going to talk about the hustling, because they're trying to hustle the economy, make it seem like they're doing something. It's been almost 60 days and they've done nothing except make it worse. But you know, let them tell it. They're saving the country. God bless America and all that, I guess. But anyway, before we get into that, let's see who's in the building. Jerry Bedford, hello. Don P, hello. Wallow J, hello. Dark Titan, hello. Miss Nisi, hello. Cosmic Fury, hello. Reparations Nation, hello. DSA 1, hello. Emperor Rex, hello. For those who haven't said anything in live chat or comments, hello. Well, Jay, thank you for being a member for a year. That's a blessing. Remember, it's only 99 cents. Help me reinvest back in the platform, buy toys and clothes for the baby. And when you let us know how long you've been a member, or you do become a member, give us a super chat or super sticker, we tell you how much of a blessing that is. And you get this here. It left. Miss Nisi, thank you for being a member for 17 months. That's a blessing. And you get this here. All right, family. We're going to be looking at some videos. We're going to be looking at some articles. So you know what we got to do. We have to do the customary house cleaning.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose, such as criticism, commenting, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Okay. I hope you have your notebooks and your pens, and I hope the pen is working, because we got a couple things we got to talk about. We got to talk about these egg prices, and we also got to talk about how to combat the economy and to make sure that they get paid. MAGA went over to the dark side. That's called the influencer class. We're going to show you what they're doing now. And you're going to laugh, clown laugh. So let's begin with these egg prices, because we know that's a hot button topic, even though they're trying to lie and say it's not. They're trying to keep it out of the news cycle. Doesn't miss us over here at Beyond Borders Media.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
We're going to start here in Arizona. Oh, yes. We're going to start in Arizona. Now, to combat these egg shortages and the prices and all that, what they've been doing is they've been trying to get as much stock as they can. And one of the stocks we all know when we go shop, they have the cage free. Now, if you don't know what cage free means, it means these are the chickens that get to run around all day and, lead healthy lives. But the downside is they don't produce as much as those stuck in cages, or they're on top of machines that just keep having them pump out eggs all day. So what happened in Arizona? If you don't know, Arizona is one of 9 states where they have a cage-free mandate, meaning that all chickens have to be cage-free, where you can't sell it. But what is Arizona doing? Let's see. Hobbs delays cage-free chicken farming to help with rising costs of eggs. That came out this morning. All right. It's not worth the cost of eggs. Cage-free chicken farming, that is. On March 21st, Governor Katie Hobbs ordered a delay in the enforcement of cage-free chicken farming in Arizona in hopes of lowering the cost of eggs. Newsflash, I already did the math. It's not going to help, but, let's not throw too much water on their parade just yet. The move would further delay the implementation of a law that requires Arizona to move away from caged chickens and small enclosures. Like many Arizonans, I'm worried about the cost of groceries, Hobbs said in a statement. Avian flu is devastating chicken populations and setting egg prices skyrocketing off the shelves completely in many cases. That's why I'm taking action to lower costs and cut regulations that make working families pay more. The law was set to go into effect in January 2027. However, in an effort to minimize the cost of eggs, Hobbs delayed its implementation by 7 years. Yeah, right. But okay. Why is the price of eggs so high right now? Since January 2022, when the present avian flu strain began circulating widely in the United States, the disease has led to the death of more than 166 million poultry, including commercial and backyard chickens. The U.S. tests all commercial poultry flocks for avian flu year-round as a biosecurity measure. Even if one case is detected, the entire flock is excluded from the food system, ultimately affecting the country's egg supply. As of January 6th, the bird flu outbreak had hit more than 130 million poultry across 50 states since January 2022, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Because of the massive spread, millions of affected birds are being culled across the U.S. Now, here's the funny thing, family, and I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but I noticed this. Egg prices have been going up, right? But conspicuously, you keep seeing chicken breasts all over the place. I'm just saying, if they're destroying poultry, where's all this chicken breast coming from? I'm just saying. See, these are the questions we ask over here at Beyond Borders Media. We know black people, white people, Asians, Latinos. We know you love their chicken breast. I'm just saying. The U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates that the price of eggs will increase by 20% throughout 2025. 20%. Hey, baby. Not you. Would you like to pay 20% more for eggs all year? There you go. Well, you're going to have to. The increase would be on top of already inflated egg costs due to the outbreak of avian flu. The outbreak strain H5N1 emerged among poultry, flocks, and wild birds in Europe in the fall of 2020 before moving to the U.S., Africa, the Middle East, and Asia. Don't you just love that? During the scamdemic, they were importing wild birds and chickens from Europe over here and everywhere else. Don't you just love it? Shout out to Europe. Average egg prices increased by 38% during 2024, according to the Consumer Price Index. For comparison, the average price of chicken meat during the same time increased by 1.2%. The price of fresh fruit declined slightly. Remember what I told y'all last year when I went to go get chicken breast and it jumped about $1? And I said, what the hell? And I told you about the wings too. The wings jumped up too. Chicken wings. You Negroes put down that lemon pepper wet and help the economy one time, please. I'm just asking. Say less. Eggs packed in USDA grade marked consumer packages labeled as cage-free are laid by hens that are free to roam in indoor houses and have access to fresh food and water. Cage-free systems vary from farm to farm and can include multi-tier aviaries that allow hens to exhibit natural behaviors that include enrichment such as scratch areas, perches, and nests. Requirements include access to litter, protection from predators, and to be able to move in a barn in a manner that promotes bird welfare. Cage-free chicken farming tends to incur additional expenses and can be more expensive to produce, increasing the cost of eggs as they reach local markets. Shout out to Donnie the Misfit. She over there with the eggs. Shout out to her. But did y'all like that story? Because the next one I'm about to show you, you're about to laugh, yo. So, who's ready to laugh there? So, y'all ready to laugh, yo? So, what if I told you the fentanyl dealers out here, they getting in the game? Oh, man. You don't believe me. I figured you didn't. Whoever's writing this script, give them the Emmy and the Oscar, because you couldn't script this.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in
Tabernacle. Them drug dealers said, screw the fentanyl, we're gonna smuggle in these eggs. While fentanyl seizures drop, egg seizures double under Trump's watch. They are going to Mexico, grabbing them eggs for about $1.59 a copy for the whole carton, and try to smuggle it back here and sell it for about 4 times. 4, 5, 6 times. In a surprising twist of events, U.S. Customs and Border Patrol is currently carrying out more seizures of smuggled eggs and egg-related goods than fentanyl. CPB is tasked with halting the transport of legal items moving across the United States borders. President Donald Trump campaigned on securing the United States border with Mexico, specifically to halt the flow of hard drugs such as fentanyl and legal aliens from making their way stateside. According to a report by Truthout, CPB agents carried out 134 fentanyl seizures in January and February. Figure that's almost 32% less than the number of seizures that took place at the same time frame in 2024. In the meantime, over 3,254 seizures of eggs and egg-related products in the months of January and February in 2025, which constitutes a twofold increase from the same month-to-month period in 2024. Eggs have become associated with Trump's effort to lower the inflation that rocked Joe Biden's presidency. Thus far, eggs have experienced lower wholesale prices. And again, that's misleading, but we'll talk about that in a second. The cost that distributors incur when purchasing from farmers or other intermediaries. That said, consumer costs remain high. Throughout the campaign trail in 2024, Trump repeatedly vowed that he would lower consumer costs. Groceries, cars, everything. We're going to get the prices down, Trump said at the time. The economy remains a sensitive issue with voters, and voters appear to be souring on Trump. According to an NBC News poll, 54% of Americans disapprove of the way Trump has handled the issue, with 55% similarly disapproving the way Trump has tackled the issue of inflation. Because again, who wants to say it with me? That man does not know how to move post-pandemic, which is what we told you during the election cycle, but people didn't want to hear us. Facts. Listen, if you not playing flat gang, I don't want to hear it. If you carton gang, you a misdemeanor. If I go smuggle eggs, I'm 15 dozen gang. I'm sorry. I'll go to jail for 300 eggs. I'm not going for 2 cartons. I'm sorry. And if you don't like that, then you know what? You're not a real gangster. But the fentanyl boys said the eggs are more profitable. Now, CNN wrote this last week. Trump is claiming credit for plummeting egg costs. So why haven't you noticed lower prices? I don't even have to read this article, fam. I'm going to tell you why. When you wholesale eggs, yes, they're going to charge you less because they know you're going to get it back more later. They get to buy up the stock. They get the first right of refusal from these farms. And when we're talking wholesale, we're talking on multinationals. We're talking your U.S. Foods, your Cisco's, your Performance Food Group. We're talking your Publix. We're talking your Kroger/Albertsons. We're talking your Giant. They get first right of refusal. When it gets down to you, that's when you get to, those distributors. We're supermarket. We're not the restaurants. We're not the bakeries. We're not the warehouses that buy up the eggs to make their products. So yes, wholesale is down because people are putting in the orders. You're not going to see lower prices till probably around September, if I had to guess. And the reason why I say that is, remember, people are going to be home in about 2 months. Kids. Yeah. Huh. And we know kids love their eggs. People are going to be on vacation. They're going to be going to these hotels, theme parks. They all got eggs on the menu. Unless y'all want to be frozen egg gang. Ain't nothing wrong with frozen egg gang. Frozen scrambled egg mix. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you can get it, go get it. Just saying. And also the other reason why you're not going to see lower prices for a while is the turkey and the Canada flats haven't gotten here yet. They're still slow. Erdogan wants to come over and talk to Trump. Yeah. Oh, you think it's that bad? Oh, it's going to be even funnier what I'm about to show you. Who's ready to laugh? Yeah! Look at this.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern in
This is what they doing out here, family. They even went down to the kids. They're getting the hatchings. Woo! The eggs that are about to hatch and become chickens, they have to go take it. If you can, check your local laws. If you can, go get you a chicken. Talk to Donnie and the Misfit. Maybe she'll help you. Go get a chicken. Sell it on the block. What do I mean about the Canada thing? The U.S. is importing eggs from Canada. Canada. They're trying to strike deals with Turkey and Canada for eggs to bring down the cost. They won't fix the supply chain. They're just going to import it, which means it's going to cost you more. By the way, and anybody in the Atlanta, excuse me, anybody in the Atlanta area can fact check me on this. In Brookhaven, they have a digital billboard paid for by the government of Canada talking about the tariffs. It's right there on Peachtree Street. Anybody in the Atlanta area could go up there and fact check me on it. It's right by the Brookhaven train station. Anybody could go fact check me on that. And notice, not never one of the MAGA idiots said something about that. I'm finna drink on this green tea. I'm just saying. But yes, they're seizing chickens that are about to come out the eggs. Bruh. Oh, because DSA one, the man don't know how to conduct business. Oh boy. But that's about eggs. Now we're going to have some real fun. What if I told you that MAGA, as much as they hate the left, they love the left. They see what they be doing. They see that money to be made, and they say, you know, we're going to go make this money. Not realizing that their integrity, the little to negative that they had, is going to be in the toilet. What did I tell you after the election was over? Did I not tell you that all these people going to start leaving MAGA? They're going to start being disillusioned with MAGA, and they're not going to screw with them no more. It's just going to be a bunch of folk in there that are sycophants for Trump. Well, guess what they did? Them fools sold out.
Again!
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
I peeped this yesterday and I couldn't stop laughing. We'll blow this up a little bit. I couldn't stop laughing when I saw this. Because if you remember, during the election cycle, when we exposed those left-leaning influencers like Noah DeBrasso and Kenny Walden and a whole of them, I told y'all MAGA was doing the same thing and it was going to come out. And guess what they're outside about? They're doing the welfare hustling in. Yes. They're doing the welfare hustle. They're outside saying that you get money from the government, which you paid into, you can't buy soda or junk food. We're back to this again. Look at it. If they want to use the government money to kill themselves, do it. I care less. But what are they talking about here? They're out there talking about you shouldn't be able to pay on Snap for soda. Soda. Okay. That sounds nice, doesn't it? You would think so. So Nick Sorter, one of these Tim Pool nut jobs, but you know what? Credit to him for doing this. So he says, expose influenceable. The company cutting big checks to influencers on behalf of Big Soda. So we have another one out there. These were the same people that tell you they're independent. They're journalists. They're out there doing the business. They're trying to save the country. This is what they told us. Remember that? They said what the left was doing, it was wrong. Interesting. Over the past 48 hours, several large, supposedly MAGA-aligned influencers posted almost identical talking points fed to them, convincing you Make America Healthy Again was out of line for not wanting soda purchases with food stamps or SNAP. Some even slightingly invoked President Trump as an emotional manipulation tactic, referring to his Diet Coke button. Not a single one of them disclosed they were being paid for these posts, which led readers to believe a general soda ban was in the works. Well, again, why would they admit this when they're already getting paid on X to write the same stupid things? So they're double dipping. I'm just saying. They're double dipping. But, you know, Elon too busy. He too busy with his baby mama drama to say we can't allow this. But okay. But they like to tell you that they're fighting for you. All right. So here we are. We have Clown World. That scumbag. The government wants to block soda purchases for Americans on SNAP. Remember when New York City tried this and it completely backfired? President Trump proudly had a Diet Coke button in the Oval Office. This is ridiculous government overreach. Let people decide for themselves. Eric Daughtry, another shill. Important. We cannot allow Make America Healthy Again messaging to be used to force needy Americans into not buying certain things. Some officials in DC are working on trying to prevent Americans on SNAP from using those benefits to purchase any soda. Remember when New York City Democrats tried to prevent people from buying and consuming soda? It backfired big time. President Trump literally has a Diet Coke button in his Oval Office. Let people think and decide for themselves. Anyone could consume soda and be perfectly fine in moderation. Unless we are just going to ban every food with sugar in it for SNAP Americans. So these two sound eerily the same. Okay. I'm sure the next one is not going to sound similar to these two. I'm sure this Not Jerome Powell person is really about to show us that intelligence and, you know, still shill for this, but it's going to sound original. Government overreach strikes again. This time is soda's turn. They want to restrict soda purchases through SNAP this time. This is an unwarranted attempt by the government to dictate what Americans can or cannot consume, which is an overextension of government power and a violation of personal choice. Even President Trump likes to drink his Diet Coke on a daily basis. The government needs to stop overregulating what Americans can or cannot do.
Again!
3 for 3. I guess we might as well just go here at this point.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah.
Nick Wilson.
Look who it is. The scumbag from Malaysia, Ian Miles Cheong. Mr. Shill himself. A new war on soda has begun, targeting purchases made through SNAP. I don't believe it's the government's role to decide what people should or shouldn't eat. Well, you need to stop eating, number one. The last time the U.S. government dove deep into dietary guidance, the whole world ended up with the questionable food pyramid. Yeah. It also championed the C-19 vaccine as safe and effective. So are you actually blaming Trump for that? Let me know. Promoting better health for Americans is a reasonable idea, but not when it invokes curbing Diet Coke purchases, restricting soda through SNAP is an unnecessary move by the government to control consumption, overstepping its authority, infringing on individual liberty. Number one, why are we letting a Malaysian who doesn't even live here try to dictate what we're supposed to be doing? You need to worry about Malaysia, sir. China looking at y'all right now. I'm just saying. So we have 4 posts that sound eerily the same. So Nick Sorter says, well, let me raise this down just a little bit. Yeah, much better. These influencers were given a couple templates to use by Influenceable, with one of those templates specifically telling them to mention Trump's Diet Coke habit. This was done to invoke an emotional response from loyal Trump supporters, making them feel as if banning soda SNAP would be anti-Trump. This is an incredible dirty tactic meant to manipulate loyal followers. Well, listen, this is y'all's fault, and I'm going to tell you why this is your fault. You let RFK into the administration. I'm sorry, I don't want to piss pancakes off. Uncle Kennedy, you let Uncle Kennedy in. You let a Kennedy in. What do you think was going to happen? Oh, allegedly.
You said what?
It's funny. You let a Kennedy in and all hell broke loose. Allegedly.
You said what?
And now you wonder why you have these problems. Interesting. Let's see what this says. Soda bans and government over-regulation. This campaign highlights the dangers of government over-regulation with specific focus on current efforts to restrict soda purchases through food aid programs. The narrative emphasizes how such regulation is an overreach that unfairly targets consumer choice, especially considering the president himself is a Diet Coke enthusiast. Key messaging: government overreach, personal choice and freedom, economic concerns, Trump's preference for Diet Coke, Trump's voter base. And they have a picture that you can download with Trump drinking Diet Coke. If you submit posts after the campaign deadline, it will still count as a missed deliverable. Missed deliverables are deducted from your base pay. It is very important we have deliverables so we can utilize this in our campaign overview. If you do not submit your deliverable links by the deadline, you will not get paid for said deliverable. Please ensure to post and upload links by the campaign deadline. Son of a... Do not reach out to the Influenceable team inquiring for campaigns. We will inform influencers of any upcoming campaigns. Please keep communication relevant to active campaigns and payments. All communications must go through the Influenceable group text or through our main campaign number. Please do not text Influenceable employees directly. If you have multiple posts for a campaign, please make sure to space out the posting times within a 12-hour span. Yeah, but if you have 2 deliverables on IG, post one on the 116th and one on 117. Do not post both on 116. To maintain the effectiveness and smooth operation of our campaigns, it's crucial to meet deadlines. If you accept the campaign and encounter difficulty posting by the deadline, kindly seek approval for an extension. Failure to post by the deadline will result in exclusion from campaigns for a 5-day period. If you notify us 48 hours in advance of any posting issues, this policy won't apply to you. All posts must show likes. Do not hide likes. If likes are hidden, you will only get paid 50% of your offer. Pages must be sent to public. We cannot compensate for posts on private pages. You bastards. I don't want to hear nothing about MAGA being authentic. I don't want to hear it. Because what did I say also during the election cycle? These are the same folk that let anybody in MAGA, didn't vet them, didn't do nothing. And now they got to deal with the consequences. Influencers were texted by Influenceable, telling them to help push back against government overreach. It told them they'd be paid between $700 and even $1,000 plus for each post, attempting to turn MAGA folks against RFK and MAGA. Well, we figured the Democrat turned independent, they were going to turn on them eventually. We figured it. And it's a Kennedy, so what do you expect? Help push back against government overreach and defend personal choice. Efforts to restrict soda purchases through food aid programs are a clear example of bureaucratic overreach that unfairly targets consumer freedom. Okay. All right. The way Influenceable operates is simple. They develop coffee relationships with lobbying firms, American Beverage, and Cart Choice are potentially some examples who are funded handsomely by massive corporations such as Coca-Cola and Pepsi. What did I tell y'all after the election about corporations being bigger than the government? What did I tell you? They also develop relationships with influencers such as the ones listed above and pay them to push these lobbying groups' talking points. They are middlemen that makes a hell of a lot, essentially selling out our country. Well. And apparently this is on American Beverage's website. Well. I like how they use the Asian woman. At least they didn't use a black person. So, I think we could get behind this. Or she might be Spanish. Every influencer contacted by Influenceable met the same criteria, supposedly MAGA aligned. This was all meant to manipulate their followers, would trust them for news and opinions, and to side with Big Soda. Now this I found hilarious. They trust them for news and opinions. These people are dumb. But I guess dumb people follow dumb people, I guess. It's okay. A grand total of 0 of them disclosed they were paid to push a stance on proposed regulations. Well, why would they? They would lose their platforms. You saw what happened when Cat Crap tried that. He lied and said that he wasn't being paid for his post, and then somebody found out he got paid. But okay. There was another template too, specifically pushing a CPAC link, calling this a war on soda. This link was included in the outline provided by Influenceable. So it says, another war on soda, how bureaucratic overreach threatens Trump working class coalition. Influenceable does this a lot, pushes sketchy leftist aligned ads in the past. They also pay people to routinely push candidates and movies too. This is a much more innocent example, but I'm sure you see some of these posts. This gives you a visual from start to finish. This is all boring. So you get $100 and $1 per 1,000 views if you put 2 videos posted to IG, TikTok, and Twitter. Well, that's something.
Mike Wilson.
Well, Chad Prather, listen to what filmmakers have to say. Sound of Freedom filmmakers. No single interest group owns the issue of trafficking. Huh. Interesting. Isn't that something? Want to get paid to shill for people you know nothing about? Influenceable is a perfect fit for you. $50. $50. So according to this, if you put up this messaging, you'll get $50. So all that goodwill you built up, you're going to sell it out for $50 a post. Cool. Luckily, some patriots such as Riley Gaines refused to sell out to the Big Soda, turned down the offer, called the situation a patriot. Okay, patriot. Sure. Patriot. The same chick who showed up in a calendar as a thirst trap. She's a patriot. Okay. All right. Yeah. A chick who couldn't go to Congress and just fight for women. She needed MAGA to help her do it. Yeah. All right. This is just the beginning. Prepare for part 2 of the story where we find out more about the shady PR firm known as Influenceable. We will not sell out MAGA. Okay. I made a post and deleted it within the first hour. I withdrew from the campaign entirely, removed my post. I haven't received a single penny from Big Soda or anyone else for this. Okay. Dude, you still put it up. Wait a minute. How does he tell this lie? He already got paid for it. You see how they lie? You put up the post. So wait a minute. So either one or two things happen. You put up the post, got the money, and then deleted it because you found out people were exposing this. Or two, you're trying to save face now because you got caught. And you don't want people to come after you. Just to clarify, this was never a big soda campaign. You're strictly campaigning against government overreach. Sir, you could have done a post by yourself talking about government overreach without using big soda. So now you're lying. You all good, brother. We know you're a good one. No, he not. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sir, somebody called it right. You only withdrew because you got called out and there was irrefutable evidence. You were listed in the screenshot. Oh, what is this? Clara Wilson. She said she called you out. I called you out on it before you deleted. Want me to post the screenshot? Post it. Post it. I need that. How you have 16 comments? Where is he? Where are the comments? I need to see these comments. Let's see. That's crazy. They hit it. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I wanted to see it, but all right. As if deleting and fixing it. You shield against MAGA, unforgivable. Who's the clown? Facts. Why did you post it in the first place? Because you wanted $50. Oh, I tell you, MAGA is not too bright. The left is not too bright. You see something coming that in your email or your DMs, you ignore it. If they're telling you they're from a social media influencer company, you don't respond to them.
Mike Wilson.
Because even if what he did, right, he just posted it and then deleted it, your credibility just got shot. Now, everything you post, they're going to say you're getting paid for this. You're already getting paid by Elon. You needed that much money? You needed an extra $50. Look at this. Dude, I'll give you one more chance. Don't ever shill again and never turn against Trump or RFK. Oh my God. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see this? This is unbelievable. Your integrity, appreciate the honesty. Your integrity is up for debate now. You have major decision to make. How do y'all still follow this page after you see this? Oh my Lord. You took money to post about soda. You crafted this. This is why I have a problem with both sides. Because this is not the first time that he hasn't been caught doing this. You saw this and you're willing to give him another chance. I gotta look at you now. He gonna do what he gonna do. He got 3 million followers. He gonna do what he do. I'm looking at the people underneath this post that follow him. How did y'all not massively remove yourselves from this page? Are y'all that much of a shield? You need a couple dollars from Elon because this is a big account. Is that what it is? I swear to God, when he sells this app at the end of the year, boy, man, you gonna see so many people on this app crying that they not getting paid no more. They gotta actually go get a real job. Unbelievable. And then he sat there and lied. The ones who deleted them before the 24-hour mark technically forfeited their payment. So process. Yeah, okay. How do you know they didn't get paid though, sir? And you sitting there saying, thank you, bro, for deleting your post. No. Talk about you respect. You respect a page called Clown World. You respect a person named Nick. Never mind. He called it out and you pissed off at him. This is the one person I see that makes some sense. Unsubscribe from them pages that put that up. How do you give him credit for deleting the post? You know what? I'm laughing because guess what? This is white people. But anyway, before we get up out of here, I got one last thing I want to show y'all. Now, I don't know who heard this. I'm sure DSB heard about this. But apparently a state decided they wanted to get rid of their state income tax. And we're going to have to educate y'all real quick, those who don't know, what the ramifications of what they just proposed.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
So we're on the Mississippi Center for Public Policy. How Mississippi eliminated the income tax. Mississippi has made history as the first state in the U.S., aside from oil-rich Alaska, to pass legislation aimed at phasing out its income tax. The monumental achievement spearheaded by Governor Tate Reeves and House Speaker Jason White marks a significant victory for the state. The newly passed bill outlines a plan to eliminate the income tax over the next decade, starting with incremental cuts and followed by a series of budget-driven triggers. Beginning next year, Mississippi's income tax will drop to 0.25% increments, sliding from 4% to 3% by 2030. After that, further reductions will hinge on the state budget surplus. Given Mississippi's recent track record of substantial surpluses, the income tax could vanish entirely by the mid-2030s. Okay, let me help you out with this. So, Mississippi doesn't want to pay state income tax no more. They want to be Texas. Okay. They figure this is going to happen consistently. You're going to have substantial surpluses. You're assuming that you're going to assume that you're going to have money in your coffers every year up to the point where you're not going to have any more state income tax. Here's the problem with no state income tax, which they don't like to tell you. Yes, it's good. It's a boon for businesses. It attracts businesses there. We get that. You do realize that without that money, you can't pay for essential state services like welfare programs, schools. Since now they want to all talk about the literacy rate all of a sudden. Bet you they didn't tell you that now, did they? So they're going to sell out your kids. They're going to sell out your kids just to bring business in. Interesting. I'm just letting y'all know what they said. They're what they said. Now, for context, where do you think Mississippi ranks in literacy rate? I'll let anybody answer it before we show it. Because I don't think they understand what they're doing. Because last I checked, Mississippi is not exactly a haven for business. But again, I could be wrong. No, they're not last. So according to Newsweek, Mississippi is 251. Louisiana is slightly under them. So is New Mexico. They're among the poorest. Louisiana has the worst literacy rate in the country. Mississippi is second to last. But you want to take away the state income tax, so your schools are going to go down more. Interesting. Interesting. But all right. This is what they want to do. Simplify the state's variable tax rates into a flat 4% on income above 10 grand. While this didn't eliminate the tax outright, it leveled the playing field for Mississippi households, setting the stage for broader support of full elimination. Right. Right. Oh, man. So they think they're Florida, Texas, and Nevada, and Tennessee, and Washington, and New Hampshire. They think they're those states. Newsflash, Mississippi, those states have self-sustaining economies. Again, you're trying to attract business there. I don't mind that. You're going to sell out the populace to bring in business. Who's going to work it? This is the same bullshit that Vivek's trying up in Ohio. He want to eliminate the state tax too. So you're going to sell out the people that are the backbone of Ohio. You're going to import new folk. As we have said, the white vote will doom us all. But that's them. That's how they operate. They'd rather destroy this country than actually come out with accurate solutions. They'd rather sell out the future for a present that's not guaranteed. Must be nice. Anyway, family, that was just a quick deep dive into what's going on out here in the streets. Because these fools are messing us up. But it's okay. They're going to learn. Game stream, I don't know. I ain't sure. Kind of want to be with my family today. Kind of want to do that. I think that's what I'm going to do. So, Hopefully you learned something. If you did, I done my job. If not, I'll try to be better next time. Feels weird to be back on StreamYard, but hey, you do what it do. Maybe tomorrow I'll finally record that Terrence K. Williams video. And yeah, we got some things coming down the pipe. Hopefully I'll get back to a regular schedule. But in the meantime, stay vigilant out there. They trying some stuff. And y'all are ahead of the curve, but don't get behind the curve. Because once you get behind the curve, you're going to be in trouble. So I'm going to go. And before we leave, it sucks what happened to Juju last night, but, you know, she'll come back stronger for it. And I'm just going to vibe out. All right, y'all. Y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos come to mess up your existence.
Time's up. But did we have a good time here? Hello?
Gotta get your groove on.
At the end of the day gotta end.
That's it.